Today on the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Well, it's opening weekend of bow season here in Texas. Wade is headed to a stand on the Wendlandt Ranch that he's hunted many times before in hopes of getting a shot on a large whitetail. But what Wade sees on this hunt and what actually happens can only be found in the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries.
Opening morning for bow season in Texas as I say this right now. We've got about a 15-20 minute drive to the stand we're going to. It's a place that I've actually hunted quite a few times. It's really a neat old stand. It's actually made out of 2x4s and wood and a couple of old boat seats. Sits up in a big oak tree. Kind of up on top of a big hill. I've been busted as many times, actually I've been busted more times honestly than I've had success on this stand, but it's always got a lot of deer on it. It's always exciting for opening morning, so regardless of what happens, if we get one for the freezer, we get one for the wall, it's gonna be fun to climb up in the stand and enjoy Texas opening day of bow season. It's definitely one we just got here where we're going to start our hike in. Our stand is way back over this way. We're up on a hill right now, and the deer are going to work out of that bottom. They'll work up here to bed down with the temperatures that we're dealing with. I'm kind of on a target of opportunity hunt. There's some mature bucks that are in this area. They're still running in some bachelor group. There's a couple of big 10s and 8s that we're actually running together. There's a really wide buck that's kind of an old, he didn't have any brow tines. He's really cool. He was still in velvet as a couple of days ago, and then there's some does. We're hoping to get a good, decent shot because we want to put something in the freezer. Miss Angel says we're out of backstrap, tenderloin, and really low on hamburgers. So thank goodness deer season's here. We're going to hopefully go knock one down. what a great morning hunt. You know, kind of like what I typically see when you're hunting early season. A couple of groups of bachelor bucks come through, shooters, and that one came through, kind of got out here. We're really too close at one time. They worked out here and kind of got away from us and milled around the brush and fought and ate scrapes and rubs, and they ended up going off that way. Then we had another group of some small bucks come through later on and mill around and posture, and they fought and fed, and then they kind of moved out after that. So it was really a good morning. We're probably going to try to rebuild this blind. I'm going to trim some brush based on how those deer set up, because I may come back here either in the morning or this evening, and we're going to hang some brush and see what we can figure out for the next hunt.
The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Yamaha's proven off-road ATVs and side-by-side vehicles. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, your adventure starts here. Garmin Zero, leave the guesswork behind.
We know if you found one crappie, you may have found 1,000. We know the joy of getting your boots back in the mud. We know the journey can be more rewarding than the destination. We know the great outdoors. We love the great outdoors. Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Stop by today for huge savings on the gear you need and the brands you trust. Plus free 2-day shipping at BassPro.com and Cabela's.com.
Inside every Yamaha lives the heart and soul of a competitor. The DNA of a champion. When you ride with us, it revs your heart and becomes a part of you too.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton. Hey, it's the season opener of the Texas bow season, and Wade is heading back out to the stand he sat in the morning to see what the afternoon will bring.
Walk in on this road here and try to get where we're going, get set up. You know, this morning we actually had deer making scrapes and rubs, even heard a snort wheeze, had some fighting action even going on. You could hear a couple of deer tussling. I haven't seen any sign of it with my eyes out here, except the fact we watched it. So it's pretty typical when they first start coming out of velvet. Get into that after a few weeks, about a week really. And we even saw some deer still in velvet this morning here. One that just come out of velvet. His antlers are actually red. He kind of passed through with that other big deer, and then we saw an 8-point that was out there with velvet as well. Kind of tempted if he comes back here while we're on this hunt. If he's still in velvet, we might have to shoot at him. Yeah, it's blowing right now probably 20, 25 miles an hour out of the southeast, which should be kind of coming across us a little bit here, but it's blowing so much right now, it's probably not going to make that big of a matter. We'll put some scent control out, use the Evercalm, that'll help a lot. We're going to get in here about 5 o'clock knowing that it's going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours before we see anything, but I'm just a big believer in trying to get in, get set up, get everything dialed in, get comfortable. That way if you do forget something or it's not, you know, less chance to bump something. Trim some stuff. Must do when you get in there. We're shooting Blackout X1 Pro arrows right here with a fixed broadhead on there. We've been dialing in everything with this bow for this specific setup. You know, one of the cool things about the Garmin Zero is I've actually got a profile for my mechanicals. mechanicals in there where I shoot the gators, and then I've got one where I shoot this, so I don't have to adjust anything. It really makes for a neat ability to be able to set it up. And you know, I'm a firm believer, shots what matters. You hit them where you're supposed to. It's, you know, the choice of the broadhead kind of becomes irrelevant, but that debate about broadhead, mechanicals, fixed, whatever, is a legendary discussion that will sure get a lot of people fired up on social media and around a deer camp.
One of the great debates in archery is, do you shoot a fixed blade or do you shoot a mechanical? And I've actually gone back and forth, and I think it depends just a little bit on your situation. So the thing about it is with a fixed blade, you're going to get a little bit more penetration, but a mechanical will cut a little bigger hole and also will usually fly truer. And what I've learned in time is it depends on how well your bow is tuned. If your bow is paper tuned, where you shoot a perfect bullet hole through paper, then a fixed blade will fly really, really well. But otherwise, go with a mechanical.
I would go with mechanical because it shoots just like my field points. I don't have to sit there and tune my bow and get it perfect. Because through the season, I mean, a lot of times we have to go through and fix little things on our bows, so I prefer to go mechanical, but they each have their drawbacks. Mechanical, it can deploy midair if something goes wrong. Fixed, if something's just not quite right, it's gonna pull to the left or the right, and they both have their pros and cons, but I prefer mechanical.
You know, there's always debate when you get around deer camp about which broadhead to use. Do you use fixed blade? Do you use mechanical? What's best? I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, it's whatever you have the most confidence in. When I was younger, I was die-hard fixed blade broadhead because I like to tune my broadheads to my arrows, and I knew which way they were flying. I knew how every arrow, you know, I'd get them lined up just right, and I knew what they would do. It's really all about what they do on the deer. You know, you want to be able to hit where you're aiming. That's the number one thing. And then how's it going to perform when it hits that deer? I mean, you don't want one that you're not sure if it's going to open or not, or you're not sure how it flies. I mean, you want to be sure that they're hitting where you're shooting. And does that arrow deploy when it's supposed to? Does it cut like it's supposed to? Do you get a true, you know, plenty of penetration with that? You know, not all of them are the same on penetration. Some of them penetrate more than others. And what does it do when you hit one quartering away? That seems to be the biggest thing for me, is how's that arrow, how does that broadhead perform on a quartering shot? Because to me, the best shot is a deer quartering away from you just a little bit. And I mean, you don't want one that's gonna deflect. You don't want one that's gonna, you know, one blade opens, one don't. And that's just trial and error. I mean, that's exactly what it is. Because somebody could have a horror story on a fixed blade broadhead. You know, well, that arrow took off and it planed and it shot 4 inches high, or it shot 3 inches to the right. Or you could say, you know, that broadhead didn't open right. And really, do we know? I mean, how do you know when you got to that deer, if you find that deer, if you find your arrow, if that broadhead opened just right? I've heard people say that it was the broadhead that did it. Well, maybe you hit a rib and you hit it just right. You never, ever know for sure exactly what happened on that broadhead when it hit the deer, because you just can't see. Even when you're filming it, you can't slow it down enough to see exactly what that broadhead's doing. So for me, it's confidence. Get something that you have confidence in. Talk to your buddies, you know, talk to people that's actually shot them and have got stories about them, and they can tell you the success or failures they've had with them.
Let's check back in with Wade as he endured a very windy afternoon with little action.
Well, we're just about out of daylight. Wind blew 20 miles an hour, and we ended up seeing, I think, 4, maybe 5 different little bucks. That was it. And they were super cautious. Took them a long time to cover any ground at all. I'd assume a lot of the deer we were trying to hopefully see, they didn't move at all. So we'll have to make a plan, come back in the morning. Still a good fun set. The wind was didn't really work in our favor when it come hunting, but it sure made it cooler sitting up here in the tree today when it was well over 90. So that's hunting. And we're gonna climb on down, go get some barbecue, watch a little football, and enjoy Texas for wrap up the day.
When we return, Wade goes back out in the morning with hopes that the deer will show up like they did before. Stay tuned. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. Stealth Cam digital scouting cameras, proven. Walkers, protect it or lose it. 10-point crossbows, perfection lives here.
How do you aim a 36-yard shot with a 30-yard fixed pin at a 15-degree angle with a 7-inch holdover without moving a single pin? Easy. You get one of these. Zero, the auto-ranging digital bow sight from Garmin.
The Thompson Center Compass 2. A feature-rich rifle packed with value and a higher standard of reliable accuracy. Now with Generation 2 trigger and threaded muzzle. Offered in scoped and non-scoped versions and in a wide variety of calibers. From the range to the fields to the mountains, TC has a rifle to match every hunter's needs.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton.
We're going back where we've been hunting the last couple of days. Yesterday morning, we had a parade of deer coming through there. Really high expectations. Scouting camera was showing a lot. And we just really didn't get the great angle, the great shot to make it all come together. We're gonna go back up in there and see if we can't recreate opening morning. Stopped and then he went off. Your arrow's still in him.
Find out what happens next when we return. The Yamaha Whitetail Diaries is brought to you by Smith & Wesson Performance Center. Performance when it matters most. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors. Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
Others decock. We do it safely. The new AccuSlide safe decocking system revolutionizes the crossbow market. Simply backwind the handle, stopping at any point without fear of damage, injury, or losing control. Meet the new Vengeant S440 and Viper S400 featuring the AccuSlide. Speed up to 440 feet per second, 5.8 inches wide. Its 3.5 pound zero creep trigger delivers same hole accuracy. The Vengeant S440 and Viper S400 from 10 Point.
To me, the Performance Center by Smith & Wesson means taking the best and making it better. Regardless if I'm passing on the traditions of hunting or teaching someone new about the outdoors, I know that using a Performance Center handgun will be something they will remember for the rest of their lives. Every model comes with an awesome trigger. They're reliable in all the conditions, as well as offering a variety of sight and scope mounting capabilities. The Performance Center by Smith & Wesson. Performance when it matters most.
Welcome back to the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries with Wade Middleton.
All right, it's about 4 hours after the shot. It's almost 11:30. I shot at about 7:32 this morning. Yeah, man, it was a really cool hunt. There was so much going on. We had the velvet buck we saw earlier the day before. I actually kind of worked through the area. He was there really early. I couldn't get a shot. Came back through. I was grabbing my bow, getting dialed in, ready to go on him. And I heard something crunch literally right underneath the stand. And I looked down, and it was the big 9-point. He's actually a big mainframe 8 with a small G4 on there. To me, he's quartering away. You know, camera angles always look different when you've got a video guy on one side and you on the other. But he's quartering away perfect, opens up. I take the shot. Looks like the arrow goes in almost to probably about right here. When you slow it down and you look at it in slow motion, going up into the body cavity. But I felt like I was a little low initially right after the shot, so we got out of there real quiet, but a lot of time left. I don't think we're going to see a lot of blood right now based on how that arrow went in at the angle, but we're going to ease up through here and see what we can find. It's been long enough that if I made a good shot, he's done.
After about a half hour into the search, word got to Wade that the deer's been spotted.
Well, supposedly he's been spotted over here. We called some buddies to go help us. Where's he at? There's the antlers right there. Thank you, sir. There he is. Wow, the arrow's still in him. Look at that. We were just talking up there about the arrow. May never came out of him, and that's probably why we never found any blood. He just ran right down in here and tumbled over. Golly, what a deer. Look at that. Look at that. He has been dead since we saw him take off running. He probably just piled up right here. He's already stiff, and it's been like 4 hours. And he just piled up right there. I mean, I'll have to flip him over, but there he is, right there. Look at the tines all over this deer. I mean, he was dead within 30 minutes of the shot based on how stiff this deer already is. I mean, but we gave him literally, I shot at 7:30, and I mean, we were just become ultimately quiet at that moment. We didn't even hardly talk afterwards, and he ran out of sight there, and we climbed down, snuck out the other way, and just, went through that wait you've got to go through to get him, and then, I mean, literally 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours, and came back in here. But that's what you got to do if you feel like there's any question. And sure enough, we got lucky, and here he is. What a great deer! What a great deer! That's cool.
Congratulations, Wade, on your Texas bow opener entry into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries. Well, that'll do it for this episode. See you next time.
I love my Fusion wireless camera.
It's the easiest cell cam I've ever set up.
Download the command app.
Scan the QR code.
Everything is done on your phone.
All kinds of affordable and different data plans.
For as little as $5 a month, you can have your trail cam pictures sent right to your cell phone.
You can go into the app, you can change all the camera settings, you can change all the upload settings, and it's got a feature where you can map out where your cameras are. It shows you when the activity has been in front of your cameras.
Check it out, the Fusion wireless camera from Stealth Cam.
What does it take to make EverCalm deer scent? It takes a deer farmer who raises whitetails. It takes mixing the special blend of EverCalm, testing each batch.
Smells like deer.
And then pouring each container. Each container is cleaned, examined, and packaged for shipping. It takes the finest deer herd and a great team of people to make the best hunting scent available. EverCalm from Conquest Scents.
From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. we play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler.
From the backwoods to the backyard, Sawyer's Permethrin, odorless insect repellent, repels and kills mosquitoes, ticks, and other harmful insects. And with just one application lasting for up to 6 weeks, you can enjoy the outdoors as much as we do. Sawyer, we keep you outdoors.
It's in our nature to protect, defending our heritage, our way of life, and the ones we love. It's your right. Don't give it up. Protect it or lose it. Walkers.
I came back from Afghanistan with a traumatic brain injury. I couldn't talk. I still can't talk right. I didn't want to leave the house. Then my wife, God bless her, she got me off the couch and said, hey, enough's enough. You got to get back outdoors. The hunting gave me a whole new purpose, you know. It sped up my recovery big time. When I was deployed, I trusted Trijicon, and I still do today. Sergeant Rob Gustafson, U.S. Army retired.
Trijicon, brilliant aiming solutions.
Money took the box blind industry by storm with the Bull. Now, they've taken it to the next level with the Penthouse. Increased size, larger windows, insulated panels, and everything you've come to expect from an industry leader. Revolutionary designs for any weapon and any situation. Change the way you hunt with a box blind from Muddy Outdoors. Check out Muddy's full line of box blinds today at GoMuddy.com.